Welcome, one and all. Welcome, rock fans from all around the world. Welcome to Musical People and Journeys, the rock album review show. Welcome to my panel, to Simon, to Trish, and to Paul. How are you all? You're well this morning?
Morning. Well.
Beautiful day here
Fantastic.
in the UK. Beautiful day in the UK. Well, if you're tuning in for the first time, hopefully not, we are reviewing the latest rock albums. Rate them out of 5. Will they get into a Hall of Fame? Will they get into our Album of the Year? This show is all about Hammerfall and Avenge the Fallen. Who are Hammerfall? They are a Swedish power metal band from Gothenburg. The band was formed in 1993 by ex-Ceremonial Oath guitarist Oscar Dronjak. Hammerfall was formed by guitarist Oscar, who quit Ceremonial and invited Jesper from Ceremonial Oath and In Flames to join him as a drummer in the new musical project. He had been contemplating for some time. Dronjak had already composed the song Steel Meets Steel, which later included Hammerfall's debut album. Dronjak and Strömblad were later joined by lead guitarist Niklas Sundin, bassist Johan, and vocalist Mikael. When Niklas and Johan left Hammerfall the following year, Glenn, then guitarist in Flames, and Fredrik Larsson, bassist from Swedish death metal band Dispatched, replaced them. So there we go. We have reviewed Hammerfall before. They with Hammer of the Dawn, they scored 3.85. That album is our 105th album, our joint 105th album of all time. Will this be an improvement? Will this avenge Hammer of the Dawn? And will this get into our Hall of Fame? Let's find out. Paul, you're shaking your head then, so why don't we start with you then?
Sorry. I was shaking my head because I can imagine our audience out there thinking, "Oh, I wonder what 104th album is that beat out Hammerfall."
Well, I tell you what, mate. I'll let them know, shall I? Let me read them out.
No, Nigel. We know you love affair with that. Especially of your own making, so that's perfectly fine.
I like living in my world. You leave my world alone.
Yes, we know. Nigiverse is special place. So although power metal vanguard Hammerfall have been compared by many as a cross between Halloween and Manowar, for me they have the feel of Iron Maiden without the reliance on the continuous galloping bass. I was expecting the same old power metal initial hit, which, like Iron Maiden, quickly grinds into the mediocre music because it just starts sounding all the same. Honestly, I can't say this about this album. It's a very solid album, and tracks like Burn It Down and Capture the Dream rise the album up. It may not be as good as a Glory to Brave album, but after all these years, the band has produced an album that most metal fans will be more than happy to listen to.
So, were you happy? Were you happy, Trish? Were you happy to listen to Avenge the Fallen? You power metal aficionado?
Oh, I wouldn't say I'm a power metal aficionado.
Well, 2 years ago, we started this. Neither of us were really, but now, I mean, you've got to watch Battle Beast and Serenity and lots of power metal bands.
True. So, with the opening track being the title of the album, with its chanting, beating drums making you want to sing the chorus, Avenge the Fallen, it's starting off good. I just hope it won't fall at the first hurdle as we enter the album completely. This is Hammerfall not deviating from their heavy power metal sound, remaining reliable and keeping up their high standard, doing what they love to keep old fans coming back and engaging new ones with their stories of medieval battles and Templar knights. The tracks that really stood out for me were Freedom, Hail to the King. These personally for me are gutsy, anthemic and hypnotising in a way. A good solid album for its genre.
Now, somebody who's always good and solid for his genre, it's Simon. Simon, now you have been a Hammerfall aficionado in the past. Live up to this billing? Tick some boxes for you? What did you think of this offering?
Yeah, I mean, I've been like an orbital fan of Hammerfall for a long time. And Avenge the Fallen does open with a banger track, infused with like that classic era power metal, and that vibe is maintained throughout the whole album. Hail to the King, great track. Hope Springs Eternal shows they can play a ballad or two as well. And Time Immemorial capping off the album with a sweet guitar riffs and a real display of true power pedigree. The only thing that that keeps this album from hitting the true heights is that it is exactly more of Hammerfall, which isn't a bad thing, but it doesn't stir anything new or change anything particularly. It's just more of the same, which is really good. It's really good they've got a style and they're consistent, but it would be nice to see a little bit more experimentation off of what's this, like 12th album?
Yeah, it's when I first heard this album, I went, oh, it's a bit generic. It's a bit generic, and then and it was a grower, because though it is a generic kind of Hammerfall album, it you know, it did ebb and flow. There was some ballads in there. There's some good songs. My favourite was actually the title song, which is "Avenge the Fallen." It was fantastic, and there was actually very good storytelling in it as well. And it kind of grew on me. I kind of, you know, do you know what I mean? Normally something like this might only go 2 or 3 listens, but it did grow on me, and it ended up at maybe about 4 or 5 listens from that perspective, which is pretty good, really. So, and one of their songs got to a cool playlist, which is always a bonus. Yeah, it's solid. It's a solid kind of offering without kind of, you know, hitting those dizzy heights. And at the minute, power metal, particularly with symphonic metal, is kind of evolving and bringing new kind of tricks into it as well. So, yeah, solid album. Solid album. Let's find out our voting then. Shock of shocks. I'm going to shock you, because we'll only give this album a 3, which I'm a bit shocked at, because I know he's a Hammerfall fan. But is he losing his love of power metal on this journey with us? I don't know. Well, let's find out. Paul, how about you?
Yeah, like I said, I enjoyed it. And it didn't lose its way and get weaker as the album went on. I found it varied enough, especially for a power metal band. And I give it a 4.
Which is a big score from you right now. This is a big score from Paul. Paul been kind of
I've been on the alternate stadium, and my marks have been dropping dramatically.
Yeah, it's a boost up
every week.
Well,
I've had all my marks excluded from the voting. So, yeah.
Well, luckily we needed 5, so nobody's votes are getting excluded today, because we've got exactly 5 votes. Trish,
I aligned with Will again. I gave it a 3.
you did. You were well aligned. I give this. Well, Simon, what did you give this?
Give it 4.
I know, 4, right. I give this a 3.5. There we go. It didn't beat the last time. 17.5, scored a 3.5, so we didn't rate it as highly as Hammer of the Dawn. It's basically in my little stats head for everybody to know, because I do get comments of people liking this stats bit. 55th album of the year out of 126, so top half of albums of the year so far. 172nd out of 428 albums reviewed of all time. I mean, that's pretty good, so definitely top half of that one as well. 3.5, 7th album of the month out of the 12 albums reviewed. It was in the 7th album. So solid. Anyway, what did you think? Are you a Hammerfall fan? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Are you not a Hammerfall fan? Try them out. See what you think. Leave a comment. Please like and subscribe. It all helps us and keeps our hearts beating. Thank you very much to my wonderful panel, to Simon, to Trish, and to Paul, and to William, of course, who will be back. And good luck and goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.